Good morning. Welcome to Art Soundoff 2023. I have taken part in the Art Soundoff a few times before. None of my stuff, as far as I'm aware, is currently available from past years. Partly down to choice, partly down to my website not currently being operational. I have mothballed the website, and I have just kept the domain name under my management, as it were, until it's ready to come back up. But yeah, I'm going to be taking part this year. I've just realised it's November, so now's the time to get going. I'm going to be working while I do these recordings. I am a comic book colorist, and I'm currently working on a Christmas comic with a pretty big difference to what you would normally get from Christmas comics, and also a samurai crossover comic of two pretty well-known characters. I don't know how much I can say about any of them, so I'm not going to say anything about either. Which is generally the reason I am never able to do stuff like screen sharing on Art Soundoffs and things like that. But I might do some screen sharing this year of a different kind of work, because I'm also currently doing some 3D work. So when I'm working on the 3D stuff and doing recordings, I might be able to hopefully do some screen sharing with Dropbox Capture. I was planning to use Dropbox Capture to do recordings this year, but for some reason it will only allow me to record the video at the size of the window on the screen, and it will also, if I'm doing just camera, so not sharing the screen, if I'm doing just camera, it will only allow that video to be on my primary monitor, and I can't work with Photoshop, for instance, on this monitor. It has to be on this one. It's complicated. I'd have to change too many settings. It's not worth it. So while I'm working on comics, I will not be sharing my screen, and while I'm working on 3D, I will. Right now, working on comics. So this year I'm going to try to keep it light. I'm not going to talk about anything too serious. I'm going to try to keep it Art Day related. This is, I guess, just my intro. Not sure if I said my name's Owen Jollins, and I'm a comic book colorist, but my name's Owen. Yeah, work with the Hi-Fi Studio primarily, doing comics, and I've been doing it for over a decade. It's a long time, especially in this business. Yeah, pretty much done most stuff at some point. If it's a DC character, if it's a Doctor Who variant, if it's a fun cartoon character, I've probably done it at some point during the last 10 years, provided it has been around in comic form. The one I'm working on right now actually is a new one for me, but yeah. Anyway, moving on, I just want to say kudos to Shadow Intronics, or Troy, for keeping Art Soundoff alive last year and for doing it again this year. I've not managed to watch more than just a snippet of any of his videos thus far, but I am going to catch up on them as soon as I've finished recording this, while I'm getting on with my work, and I will hopefully be able to get some ideas for new things to post about this year from what Troy is himself posting. It's a bit of a low-key challenge, the Art Soundoff challenge. It's something that I'm maybe planning to... I have a lot of plans that take a very, very, very long time to come to fruition. But yeah, like potentially this is doing recordings and stuff is something I might do a bit more of in the future, not just in November. Yeah, with me, I'm a dad, I have a wife, and doing recordings with either of those other luminaries in the house is very difficult. So generally speaking, my ability to record is quite restricted, because obviously now most people spend quite a lot of their time working from home, and my wife is no different, which is very nice. She's home quite a lot now. Today is one day that she's in the office this week, but it's generally a much busier place. And as you can see, welcome to the messy playroom. Not just for messy play, but it is messy, and it is a playroom slash gym slash utility room. Well, not utility room, but slash everything else it needs to be. Don't really ever expect this room to look particularly neat and tidy. Every so often I manage it, but there are too many toys for it to be permanently tidy nowadays. So yeah, that's what's happening this year. Today I was planning to, I guess, do this rambly post, and I might do another post a little later today, because like I said, it's now the 9th of November, and gosh darn it if I don't like to try and do about 30 posts for Art Soundoff when it is Art Soundoff. Last year I did none, just wasn't going to happen last year. This year, I'd be surprised if I get to 30, particularly as I'm starting quite late, but I'd like to give my best at putting out some light, helpful stuff. I guess like today, the helpful thing I would say is, if you are doing comics or artwork that is digital, I would finally be able to wholeheartedly recommend, as a Wacom owner, upgrading Photoshop to the new release, because this is the first time ever I have upgraded Photoshop to, I think it's the 2024, no, it'd be 2023, wouldn't it, the 2023 edition, and it's just seamlessly been fine. I had to do one very minor thing to get the Wacom working with the pen pressure, which frankly I was expecting to have to do, but that is like unheard of. Upgrading Photoshop from one version to the next as a comic book artist is normally a whole day down the toilet, like just fixing all the issues that it brings up. Wacom have released a new dashboard that seems to work much better, so also update your Wacom stuff if you haven't done in ages. The new Photoshop is working much better, the selection tool is working much better. That has been glitchy as heck recently. So yeah, Photoshop doing much better. I don't know if maybe an element of it is that I now also have to pay for Substance Painter for 3D work, but maybe Adobe just pay more attention to you the more money you give them. But that's probably not it. Probably not. Yeah, do that. Do your upgrading and get the newest version. It does seem to run much quicker. And I'm speaking as someone as well that has a pre-2014 graphics card, and still works on desktops like some kind of modern day Luddite, who still has a giant computer that sits next to me going all day. Lovely. Yeah, that's my top tip for today, and hopefully I will come up with something to actually talk about for a video later today. I'm currently doing this on Windows Movie Maker, so I can get it out of the way. Maybe I'll record something when I do some 3D later. Maybe I'll still be doing comics. Who knows? We are, as ever, this is one of the things about Art Soundoff. This is one of the challenges for me, is that it's in November. And if you are working in commercial comics, as opposed to making your own stuff, November, again, working with American peeps, is probably going to be a bit of a crunch time, because you've got Turkey Day, and no one wants to work on Turkey Day, which means all of the comics peeps try and get ahead and cram everything in before then. So everyone in America can go do their whole Thanksgiving thing. Now normally, me being the Brit, it would be like, give all the stuff to the Brit over Thanksgiving weekend, but I'm actually doing some stuff myself that weekend potentially, so I might not be able to do too much work because I might be too busy having fun myself. So we'll have to see this year. So the plan is stay on top, get everything done, don't leave it all to the last minute, and that's what we're doing. We've been a good comics maker this year. I am every year. I'm very good. Anyway, sorry, I wasn't blowing my own trumpet there. I don't mean very good as in like I'm an amazing maker of comics. I mean, I'm diligent. I do my work. I try to stay on top of things. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm going to say bye. Anyone that sees this, it won't be up forever, unlikely, because I think the value is limited, frankly. But anyone that does manage to see this, I hope you're having a lovely day, and I hope you have a lovely November and December, and let's all hope that things are much less doom and gloom than the 2020s have so far delivered in the near future. So yeah, fingers crossed for a nice holiday season upcoming. Alright, that's enough. First art sound off of the year, already talked about Christmas. Alright, bye! Oh, twice.